Well, hello. I'm Shawna Herve, and I sing with Sonoma Bach, Green Mountain Consort, and the Chamber Choir. And when I am so blessed to be involved with some of the Bach choir performances, I get to sing with all kinds of lovely people. So I've been asked to do a little bit of a warm-up and share it with you. I'm just kind of going to wing it. So bear with me. I'm going to show you some of the favorite things that I do. Many of these exercises I'm sure that you've been exposed to. The very first thing I always like to do first thing in the morning is some lip trills. So we're talking, and yes, if you want to hold your face, feel free to. The way I like to start with lip trills is starting on a high note and just sliding down. We're not talking at all about like a melody or notes or anything, just high note down to low note. So for me, it would be like, now you give it a shot. Now let's try it full circle from a low note all the way up to a high note and back down. We're going to go. Now you go. Okay, once you've done that, one of my favorite things to do is something I saw a didgeridoo teacher do once with his students. And I call it zipping. So we got zzz, zzz, zzz. And when you do it, I want you to put your hands on your lower belly and go zzz, zzz, zzz. Imagine you can feel your voice coming all the way up through your torso and out through the top of your head. Let's do that together. Zzz, zzz, zzz. Let's do that again. Zzz, zzz, zzz. Now with that in mind, let's hum down from a high note. Any note you want. I'm going to go. And while we're doing it, I want you to think about that zzz kind of pressure that you had going on, the air pressure, the breath support. So instead of zzz, we got that same burst of air from down low. All right, now you go from a high note. Now let's take it from a low note. Now when you're humming, I like to really focus on keeping the vibration consistent the whole time. So we're, as opposed to like, where you might kind of drift back into your throat, I want you to feel like it's actually kind of coming forward the whole time. So let's take it from a high note one more time. And now from a low note. Same thing, now we're going to open up into an ah, starting on the high note. Now you go by yourself. And now from a low note, we're going to hum up. When we get to the top, we're going to open into an ah and slide back down. Something like Now you go. Okay, now that we've done that, I want you to take a nice deep breath. This is actually my favorite exercise ever. These are sliding exercises, and the whole technology behind sliding exercises is taking a nice relaxed breath and releasing it. So when you start, don't even think about a high note, just start in a nice comfortable part of your voice. Let's take a breath in. Go ha, back in. Ha, back in. Ha, in. Ha. As low as you want to go. What do we get to? An A. I usually get myself up to a G. I think technically I might be a mezzo-soprano, but I've always been more of an alto and a tenor. So once you get up to that relatively high note, let's say that G, you take that nice deep breath in. You fall down 2 octaves. The goal here is to try and keep the tone and the volume of your voice consistent the whole time. And remembering, not just that, but really focusing on keeping your breath balanced. Now you saw me going like this. One of the things I like to think about when I'm breathing is either a swing that swings forward. As you breathe in, it swings back. Swings forward. Ah, back in. Ah, you can think of it as a wave. Wave comes in. Wave goes out. Ah, any of you who've done vinyasa yoga might recognize that. Wave comes in. Back out. Ah. Okay, so really, first and foremost, I want you to think about your breathing, okay? So let's try that now. Let's try it from a G. If you're a woman, let's take it from right here. If you're a man, if you're a baritone especially, would work great. Take it from the G below, and we're going to slide down 2 octaves, okay? So breathe in. And again, now by yourself. Let's now try it from the low note, okay? Full circle, from low to high to low. So it's going to be something like... Let's try it together again. And now you go. Once you've done this a couple times, you can move on. We're gonna do the same thing we just did, where you start on a low note, but instead of going up 2 octaves, we're just gonna go up 1 octave. Let's go. Might be a little bit low. Let's try it a little bit higher. Okay, so if you're a man, we're starting down this B flat. If you're a woman, we're starting on this B flat below middle C. Nice deep breath in. exercise to try and avoid any major vibrato at the end. It's so tempting to be like, I've arrived, and do some vibrato at the end. But try and keep it nice and straight. Yeah, we went about as high as I could before my bird started squawking. So, anyway, sliding exercises are my favorite. They're just, it's almost like a vocal massage. You get to like run through every single note that you would possibly sing. And by doing so, you can kind of tell when you hit a rough spot. You're like, maybe today right around like a G and an A above middle C feels kind of funky. So sliding exercises are great for that, for just, smoothing out, warming up, helping you identify where your rough spots are, but also really great for connecting the different ranges of your voice. The whole idea is to try and keep the low range of your voice and the high range of your voice consistent. And that's that whole idea about trying to keep the tone and volume consistent. So we don't want to be like, ha, obviously. And in order to do that, we have to keep the low note nice and light. I put it in quotes because light doesn't mean quiet. It just means we want to keep it in a place where it can slide up without it having to break. And if it's too kind of then it will have to break. If it's down in your throat and kind of heavy, think about something that's heavy. You're just like, ugh, can't pick it up. But if it's nice and light, and it's already in the place that you need it to be for those higher notes, then you're a lot more likely to go up high smoothly. So I'm just going to do a couple of other things with you. You've probably done lots of vowel exercises. I know we do those in some of the Bach choir warm-ups. One of them is like ma, me, ma, moo. Okay, so the way I was taught vowels was just one smooth note, no M at the beginning, just and the whole idea was to try and keep, once again, the tone consistent. So when I'm thinking a, e, I, o, u, I'm trying to keep the tone kind of round, which is actually really great for chamber music. We don't want a, e, o, u. Although I have heard some early music recordings that have that kind of sound, but that's not what we're going for in Bob's choirs. We're going for a rounder sound. Think like a cathedral sound. So, nice and round and luscious sounding. And your a, o, u, they all share the same tongue position. Your tongue is kind of up and back, like the tip of it is touching the vein underneath. A, o, u. But we do have to pucker to make those sounds different. So a, o, u are in the same kind of tongue position family of vowels. And then we have e, I, and e, your tongue should be right behind your front teeth. I is almost like it's poking out over your teeth, but not quite. We always want to avoid E. No horizontal. Always nice and relaxed. Relaxed and vertical. So, let's try that together. Let's go. This is a great opportunity to think about your breathing. Trying to keep the tone consistent. doesn't really exist, which you might have noticed, especially the sopranos. So, that's ah. Always a good idea to get a little bit of staccato in. Let's do a I want you to think big jump, okay? And when you sing the legato at the end, imagine you're sliding through it. We don't want no hoppity hippity hoppity when you're doing the legato. We want nice big kind of whooshing sound, okay? Starting with staccato. This is almost 20 minutes in. You don't always have to do a 20-minute warm-up. I'm kind of giving you a bunch of stuff that you can work with and just kind of pick and choose. Think of these exercises as tools in your bag. So there might be certain days where you feel like, ugh, the tone of my voice just doesn't feel good. Do some humming. Or you might feel like you're running out of breath. Do some lip trills. You might feel like you just don't have the support behind those notes. Do some staccato. You feel like maybe, I want to have more momentum. I don't want to feel like I'm running out of breath in these long phrases. Do some sliding, okay? So, let's do one last thing together. Starting on this G, let's go. Switch vowels. scales. You want to feel like you are kind of whooshing through them, sliding through them. You are hitting notes, but you're not just hit, 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 hit. We want to get a frictionless feeling, sort of like when you're playing air hockey. You go, and it just goes, tss. That's what you want your voice to feel like you just release it and it flies unencumbered. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this, and use it as you will. Pass it along if you'd like to. And if you're interested, I am doing virtual lessons right now. Thankfully, my schedule's actually fairly filled up, but feel free to get in touch with me if you want to. Okay? Have a lovely day.